The evolution of Disney's animatronics are bringing many of our favorite characters to life. Disney's high-tech audio animatronics are now able to make movements 99% identical to humans. Many visitors aren't even able to recognize them from human cast members. In this video, you are going to walk through the major events of the Disney robot evolution timeline from the start. If you love Disneyland, robots, and Star Wars, you are going to love what they are making right now. Keep watching to find out, and let's travel through time. In the 1950s, while on vacation in New Orleans, Walt Disney purchased a small automated toy bird that was created in France as a gift for his wife. On the outside, it looked like a stuffed songbird in a cage, but internally it was a machine that would chirp out music as if it were alive. Inspired by this bird, Walt Disney wanted to build his own robots, but not like this bird, much more advanced. Fascinated by the creature, Walt gave it to his Imagineers with the instruction to find out how it worked and how to make it better than how it was, marking the first step of Disneyland and its audio animatronics. The very first animatronic to feature true audio animatronics was the Enchanted Tiki Room, which opened in 1963 at Disneyland in Anaheim, California. The Tiki Room was full of singing birds, singing flowers, and drumming and chanting tikis, much like the original bird Walt Disney bought. The birds in the Enchanted Tiki Room were able to synchronize eyes and facial expressions with the music entirely by electromechanical means. The music was produced by pre-recorded tapes which vibrated a metal reed that closed a circuit to trigger a relay, which then sent an electrical pulse that caused the mechanics to move. This was the world's first audio animatronic, and the Tiki Room is still open to this day. Audio animatronics are different from android-type robots. Androids can respond to external stimuli, while animatronics refer to mechatronic puppets that use pre-recorded movements and sounds. And androids are designed to convincingly resemble humans. Got that? Awesome! Back to animatronics. These early audio animatronics were not that great because of the moving parts had only two positions, a start position and an end position, or either on or off, open or closed. With the Enchanted Tiki Room full of singing birds, they accomplished their first goal to create an improved version of the bird Walt bought in New Orleans. So they went for a more complex challenge to create a dancing man called Project Little Man. Project Little Man, which used cams and levers to make it perform tap dance routines like Buddy Ensign, was created by Roger Brogy and Wathel Rogers. The dancing man was mechanical and had a lot of control mechanics. Also, most of them were external and visible, similar to the Terminator, but friendlier. As this was not the best thing to show on stage to a live audience, they decided not to show it on stage and instead used it to advance their creations into using liquid hydraulic systems for the movements. By changing the animatronics to hydraulic power, they were able to achieve simpler linear movements, like having an elephant swing its trunk or the head of a python move side to side. One of the early hydraulic-powered animatronics was first used in 1955 at the Jungle Cruise attraction, which is full of hippos, rhinos, elephants, and other wildlife, with simple movements like shaking their head or opening and closing their mouth. As they turned to hydraulic power, the figure's parts required their own control channel for each cylinder, so the original audio animatronics were relatively simple in design, but took a lot of time to build and required a lot of space. When they decided to reduce the control channels to reduce the time it took to build them and space required for them, the figures became less functional. For example, all fingers were controlled by one controller, so the hand could flex its fingers but couldn't point at anyone. Basically, hydraulics were not a great option either. Sometimes these oil-filled cylinders would leak or drip oil. For this reason, they never upgraded the Tiki Room to hydraulics because their customers didn't want an oil bath while visiting Disneyland. Nonetheless, leaking and dripping oil created a lot of work to maintain and damage to the animatronics. This became a bigger problem as the number of animatronics in use grew, so they had to advance animatronics from hydraulics to an electromechanical pneumatic system. With a new pneumatical system, they wanted to make a living human animatronic figure. To start, the plan was to create a Confucius figure to be placed in a restaurant and give advice to curious guests. This was abandoned in favor of a much bigger project, The Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln debuted at the 1964 World's Fair alongside 3 other shows. A life-size moving and speaking Abraham Lincoln was able to do a 5-minute speech, standing, sitting, and looking around the room as if it were alive. Later in 1964, Disney created 2 animatronic birds, Robin and Umbrella, for the movie Mary Poppins. After the movie, Walt Disney reinvested the profit made by the movie to build the MAPO, a department in Walt Disney Imagineering dedicated to creating and innovating audio animatronics. With a dedicated department for animatronics, Disney was able to make breakthroughs much faster. One of the breakthroughs was made as animatronics entered the computer age. They advanced their audio animatronics to use DASC, or Digital Animation Control Systems. DASC is a computer-controlled playback system which was implemented around 1970. This led to drastic improvements in the efficiency of programming their animatronics. DASC uses a set of buttons and knobs to control and record the animatronics movements. Before that, programs had to strap themselves directly to the machines and make movements to record the animations. All of the above animatronics we just talked about were their A1 model animatronics with hydraulic and electromechanical pneumatic systems. With the debut of Disney MGM Studios in 1989, now known as Hollywood Studios, Disney unveiled a brand new kind of audio animatronics, their A100 figure, putting a stop to the A1 model animatronics. The first A100 animatronic figure was the Wicked Witch of the West as a part of the Great Movie Ride. The A100 model's movements was far superior to previous animatronics with its lifelike fluid movements, which were very close to humans for that time period, of course. Rather than having a single control unit for a hand, A100 models had a separate actuator for each finger, allowing their fingers to move independently. This led to realistic movements, which sometimes made it hard to believe that they were not actual people. The A100 models were able to achieve these fluid, lifelike movements thanks to compliance technology. In older models, like the A1, a fast limb movement would cause the entire figure to shake and rattle unnaturally. Thus, animatronics had to use slower movements, sacrificing speed for control. This was frustrating for the animators who, in many cases, wanted faster movements. Compliance technology improves this situation by allowing limbs to continue past the points where they were programmed to stop, then return quickly to the intended positions, similar to how real organic parts do. Not only moving limbs, but various elements also slowed to a stop at various positions. Instead of using intermediate stops that cause the unwanted shaking, this shock absorption technology is much like the natural shock absorption of the human body. Since 1989, the A100 has evolved and changed with time. New technologies and electric actuators became preferred over hydraulic, mainly because it provided more control over functions, and the actuators tend to last longer and required less maintenance. The Shaman of Navi River journey at Animal Kingdom in Orlando puts a great example of what a highly advanced electric animatronic is capable of. The Shaman has relatively faster and very fluid lifelike motions ever to be seen in a robot. After some years, in 2003, Disney built its first fully automated free-roaming audio animatronic figure, Lucky the Dinosaur. Lucky made his home at Disney's California Adventure. In 2007, Disney bought a competitor for Lucky, the Muppet Mobile Lab, featuring Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and his assistant Beaker. But unlike Lucky, the Muppet Mobile Lab marked it the first time that free-roaming animatronic characters could interact and converse with each other, as well as the guests they bumped into. Today, with modern computers, Disney is building some even crazier figures. In December 2009, the Imagineers made enough breakthrough to advance animatronics to their interactive version called Animatronics. Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln returned to Disneyland using the new Animatronics technology. Animatronics is defined by Disney Imagineers to describe more advanced audio animatronics technology. These figures feature cameras and complex sensors to process and respond to information in the character's environment. In September 2009, Disney introduced Otto, the first interactive figure that can hear, see, and sense actions in the room. Otto can hold conversations and react to the audience. Well, animatronics started as real-life 3D animations. Now, little by little, they are becoming somewhat Android, aren't they? It gets even better. A few weeks ago, Disney released a video of its upcoming animatronic model, the A1000. The goal of the A1000 program is to create a family of standardized electric figures that provides more control and design repeatability for both building and maintenance purposes. As Disney says, we may be able to see Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in real life. The video they released shows the model of Honda Onaka, a pirate from the Star Wars Rebel movie, developed using an A1000 model. With the A1000 model, the robot's movements are no different than humans. Although there is not much news about the A1000 model, it will be one heck of a design for Disney. On top of that, Disney is also working on some soft body robots like the Baymax in the Big Hero 6 movie, the Stuntronics to bring Amazing Spider-Man to Disneyland. And according to recent updates, the Stuntronic is quickly getting close to Spider-Man's figure and abilities. How awesome would it be to see Baymax and Spider-Man in real life? Star Wars fans are sure going to be thrilled by Disney this time, because you're in for one heck of a treat. So if you enjoyed the video, click on another one. See you in the next video.